Well, hello my friends. It's been a long time since our last video was uploaded.
I dream of sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Take me far away, sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Freedom on the seas, my love. Dancing on the waves to warm places we don't know. Loving life Mercado style and steady as we go. I dream of sailing.
So let me recap and give you a little bit of an update on what has been going on. So we started off with that. The first thing we did is we added a generator, which has had its moments of working and not working, so that's been updated a few times. Both the head, and then recently we updated a motor. The diesel engine for it itself seized up, so I ended up buying a new motor. With those two repairs, I could have bought a brand new one, but you know, that's what it is. So we've done the generator. We have a water maker, 40 gallons per hour water maker. I did a little bit of a video on it when I installed that. So that made us independent from having to go to a marina, and that would allow us to go offshore, cross an ocean, and not worry about water situations or ending out of power for any reason. Many days of no sunshine or anything like that. That's out of the way. We had 600, I think, watts of solar power, solar panels when we bought the boat. So I updated that, and that took me a little bit of doing because I wanted to fit the solar panels on the same arch, solar panel arch that was existing on the boat. Well, I went through high waters to find the perfect solar panel that would fit this situation. Yes, I had to make a little bit of adjustments to it, but it all fits within its frame. Only one company that I found that had a solar panel that was 4 foot wide, roughly, and or just under 4 feet, but under 5 foot depth. Everything was like 6 feet, and then it would have been way too much of an overhang on the back. Even though I would have been able to fit 4 panels and probably just gain the same amount of power, but I wanted something that did not overhang the back of the boat much more, or more than this. This is actually the extremes, but it allowed me to fit 3 solar panels, 400 watts each. So right here I have 1200 watts of solar panel. Well, since we bought the boat also, we decided we had a soft stop over here, and I utilized the same frame that was on the boat, or same structure, to attach a hard stop to it. Lesson learned. I would have been better off, even if I left the perimeter of this all the way around, just the front bar and the 2 side bars, and put all new bar pipes, tubing coming from the front all the way to the back with the same idea. They wouldn't have to change, but I would have eliminated a lot of headaches that I had trying to get this hard stop, which is starboard. On starboard was another lesson learned, because nothing, absolutely nothing sticks to starboard. Yeah, it's easy to cut, and it's got a little bit of flexibility to it, and it's very rugged, and it's not going to get brittle or anything, so it has those good features, but it is heavy. I wish I was starting from the beginning on this. I would have done that, and I would have gone with PVC board or a wafer board, but wafer board would require me to do fiberglass, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted a one time, put it up, and you're done with, other than taking care of the seams, wherever the seams were. And it would have done its job much lighter, not even half of the weight, if you go PVC, and a quarter of the price of this stuff. This stuff was very, very expensive. So anyway, we've done the hardtop, so we could also put solar panels up. Initially, I ordered 2 of these solar panels. It was going to be 1 for each side, over here going the long way. And when I received them, I received the 2, but one came with the box was damaged, and it had put a little penetration on the back side of its backing on it, I guess, and it showed up like a little pimple, whatever on the face, so it had a slight damage. I contacted the company, which was a good company to deal with as far as that goes. I told them, I took pictures of the damage, and they said, okay, we'll send you another one, and we don't want the other one back, just discard it. Okay, thank you. So needless to say, I ended up with 2 brand new with no damage, and I set up all 3 of them. If it worked, it worked. If it did not work, well, I would toss it anyway. All 3 of them worked. Anyway, so just last week, or 2 weeks ago, I decided to reorient them and bring the 3 that I had and put them up on this side with an aluminum L channel and set them up this way, which still gives me plenty of walk space when working the mast. Yes, I got a mess over here. I've been fiberglassing these seams, which, like I said, nothing sticks to this, so it's been a trial and error all along. But right now, I think I finally got it, so I need to paint this stuff. So don't mind the discoloration, the ugly discoloration that's here. But I got the 3 panels over here, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna order 2 more to really complete the setup, and I was able to get 2. They're a little further back, but in the same lineup, 2 smaller ones of 300. We have 700 watts of lithium batteries on the boat. 700 watt hours. Amp hours, I'm sorry. 700 amp hours. So we have 7 100 amp batteries. And so that was another upgrade that we did, and that was like, oh my god, what a relief. Finally, my draw during the night with my 3 fridges, we draw about 100 of those amp hours. So we end up with 82-83% of still battery power. Next day, by 11 o'clock in the morning, we're back at 100%. So that's as far as the power is concerned on the boat. But like I was saying, you know, as far as doing updates, upgrades, or just fixing things, it's always going. Since true up on most of the things. On the more complicated things, actually, I think she does better than the simpler ones as far as I'm concerned. So she's made new seat covers, the backrest, front, all these seat covers for a little iDos, our dinghy, and actually has made an engine cover as well. She has to stitch it down, which right now it's just based, and she's got it over here, but she's got to sew it on a sewing machine up, down, and sew the border on this. And this is a vinyl fabric, so we'll have the dinghy all set up. The fridges, they work when they want to sometimes. Oh, they work today. Tomorrow, that's a different story. So on all 3 fridges, they have new compressors. Back, bought a new compressor for that, hooked it up, and it continued working for a while. After a month or so, again, I could not get the Freon to circulate through it. I could not hear the gurgling. It would never cool off. It would never do anything. So I bought again a condenser plate for that one. And it's funny because I'm gonna bring this up. Embarrassing in a way. We replaced, I'll show you. We replaced the condenser plate on this one. And to get it, the condenser plate, which is this unit right here, to get the tubing and the thermostat wire, it goes through the back, under the floor, through a little hole on the bottom. But it has these quick connects, which are pretty thick. And brought it down into where the compressors are, and no problem. So the compressors are right in here, and these quick connects right here come from all the way from the condenser plate, so they have to come through. All three new compressors. This one over here, I just replaced that condenser plate recently, and I was going crazy trying to feed the little copper line with those ends through the fridge, and would hit the back side over here, and I could not get it down. It's like, oh my God. I mean, we spent a good part of the day trying to figure out why I could not get the tubing down. And I figured, okay, the fridge is over here, the freezer is directly underneath it, so it would go down so far and would stop. So I figured I was hitting the top of the freezer underneath, and I could get a snake line coming up the side inside in different areas, because I had to get it straight down, and we couldn't. I was going back and forth. So figuring out, oh my God, like it goes behind that corner over there, I will need to access that corner in order to bring the line around the top of the freezer and down the back. Going, pulled out the stove, made a hole on this lower part where it was not visible, cut through this formica that's here, realized that there's three walls in here, and then we found the side of the fridge that we were dealing with, way inside here, about 6 inches in from this edge, and I could see the tape that I was fishing through, but I still could not get it down. I tell you, at the end of a project is when you should be starting a project. So saw that, and then I realized, like, how did they do this? Why would they do something so stupid like this? Put a fridge on one on top of the other and not give you accessibility for these things that you might need to replace. Well, they're not as dumb as I am, because after quite some time I go downstairs again, and I'm looking at the situation, and I gotta get it through that bottom thing over there, little piece of pipe that comes up, gotta get it down. Then, you know, I'm looking at the freezer like, what can I do? Can I remove this freezer? And I look up, and the damn thing has it right over here in the back, lined up with the other one, where all I had to do was clear it up, the caulking that's in there to contain the coldness, and come straight down behind this condenser right into our location. Hours later that I only realized that. It made me feel pretty good. It's like, oh my God, like, I think of myself as a troubleshooter and somebody who could think straight, but that one really went over on me. So anyway, we've done that, Fridges are working good. We are just about ready. We got a couple of more things coming to the boat. One of them being Starlink. That will be coming up, arriving tomorrow actually at my daughter's. We'll be installing that and giving you an update. And that won't limit us to the internet, which for internet, we've already done a few things to the boat to help the situation. We have an extender Wi-Fi Gadget from Digital Yacht that can use a hotspot. You can go troubleshoot all the areas that I don't know. The great thing is, like I said, you know, the electric, which we battled for 2 years, that's going beautifully. As you can see, I added the monitor over there, and that's telling me what my voltage is. I'm at 700 amps, which is at 100%, and at this state, drawing 7.7 amps. That's the fridge is going. That would give me 90 hours of usage before I deplete it. And on that total is not counting the 2 engine stock batteries, which are another 120 amp hours each. So I don't have to worry about that. Now, talking about on the sewing, Fatima is still going at sewing. Right now, we decided to redo our salon, the cushions on it, and we went with this fabric. And right now, looking at it, it's like, I don't think we made a good choice. And that's always the case, you know. You buy something and then you get it up, or you make it up, and then that's where you start second guessing. And we're going away from that blue into this, and I figured that this color would coordinate pretty nice with the blinds that are, the shades that we put up. And that's something we've done recently, so I'd like you to look at that. I built up these top frames, build them up. The wood back here, the maple, was already part of the boat. That was existing, but it could not accommodate putting the blinds back there. So on this side, I did not have anything. So I added these frames up, built the same detail, picked up a little rope style wood molding to give it a little bit of nautical scene. Went all the way across and across the back over here as well. When I installed these, initially I had them opening upwards, so the lines were going this way. And these sides I had no option but to put them this way, because it had to come around this sharp bend over here. So I did that, and it's like, okay, you know, that looks beautiful. And I was always like, okay, what can I do different with this? Because it was these lines going this way, these lines going this way. And I said, why did I install them this way? I could have installed them, you know, going up and down. So that's what I did, and well, voila, that made all the difference. Oops, of course I'm on camera and that comes off. That made all the difference in the world. So that's how I have them, this, so they can open up to the side, and closing them up, it's just as easy. Now on this one, because I was testing different options, I took the strings that go through, that went through here, that pulled it and kept tension on it. I did the same thing with those, and that way it doesn't, it falls in itself. It's not being pulled back in any way. And that one, I have not done that yet. I've put it up, but this one is still under tension. So if I unlock it, it's not gonna go by itself, but there's a pull, there's a string in here that keeps pulling it to a closed position. But did that, got a little bit here. So by doing this and putting these up, that lowered the temperature on the boat quite a bit. And trust me, summertime in Florida, if you don't have AC running, you're struggling. So we don't run AC on the boat, because to run AC, of course, the generator would have to be running. The solar that we got regardless. I mean, regardless the way it's wired, I can't even turn it on unless I have the AC main, which means that the generator or shore power, I cannot do anything with these functions. Okay, and it was the same case with the three bottom ones, and I rewired it, cut the jumper that was going all the way across on these, cut it and put this going from here on down to the work off the inverter. Basically 110 supply electrical power throughout the boat supplies this, and I can have power to the microwave even without the inverter running, without the generator running, or without being on the shore power. But anyway, so like I was saying, unless I'm on shore power or the generator running, I cannot run the AC and big items in here. Anyway, so like I said, we're not running the AC on a regular basis. Hauled out, do 1 week, maybe a week and a half over there. Do bottom paint. We want to paint the boat and we want to put the graphics on it, and then we'll be sailing up north at that time, up to Massachusetts, and then we'll decide whether if we're coming back down or if we're going across the Atlantic to the Azores. If we don't do the Azores, we're going to be doing the Bahamas and then travel south and go to Cuba, Puerto Rico, and American Virgin Islands, and the BVI's, the British Virgin Islands over there. And we'll be touring those before we decide, you know, how far we're going to go. I'd love to go to the Azores because that's our heritage. We like to see our place of birth, but as far as beauty, they are beautiful, but there's beauty everywhere, all around you. So we'll be able to enjoy our lives very soon, taking advantage of iDos, the liveaboard catamaran, and maybe we can take a break every once in a while. Thanks for watching again. Don't forget, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. We need your help in subscribing so we can grow, and and the good stuff. And you know, I want to thank a couple of patrons that we have on our channel. You know, we don't deserve it really, but you know, they insist on helping out. So I want to thank you to Rick Hansen and Tim Wise and his wife, very generous for being the first patrons to our channel. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. No, Rick Hansen, Richard Hansen. If you don't know, well, he also wrote the song for iDos, our theme song, I Dream of Sailing, and he gave me another song that I have played a couple of times related to sailing, but you know, so great person, and you know, has bought some of our wood turnings. Oh yeah, wood turning. Yeah, that's another thing. You know, we set up the wood turning shop on the boat, and we haven't done much of wood turning. Not because of power issues, because it will run off the solar power, but because we've been so busy doing other things that you know, we put it on the back burner. But I do have a couple of root balls over here, 2 pieces of root that I don't know how they will react, but will be going on the lathe very, very soon. So we'll be posting that on the Rebel Turner. Take it easy. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.